So here we go with the review video for the sentences, fragments, and run-on section of the grammar proficiency. That was section number 8. Number 1 is a sentence. It is a sentence because we have a subject, we have a verb. The subject is you, the verb is have seen. Now, as you'll notice, those are inverted. The reason that they're inverted is because this is a question. But we have a subject, we have a verb, it does express a complete thought, so it's a sentence. Number 2, when we get to my grandmother's. When we get to my grandmother's is a fragment. Now, it may sound somewhat correct because we would typically accept this sentence or this as a sentence in informal speech, because there would be some sort of implied independent clause that would precede it or follow it. When are you going to eat a sandwich? When we get to my grandmother's. The implied part of the sentence is, I'm going to eat a sandwich when we get to my grandmother's. However, in writing, or for the purpose of our test here, all we have is a single subordinate clause. We cannot have a single subordinate clause standing on its own as a sentence, so this is a fragment. Number 3, Shin Soo Choo enjoyed his time with the Indians. He was one of their best players. This is a run-on. It's actually the kind of run-on that we call a fused sentence, because what we're looking at is what could be a compound sentence. We have two independent clauses, the first of which is Shin Soo Choo enjoyed his time with the Indians, the second of which is he was one of their best players. What we would need to do is add a comma and a coordinating conjunction where the circle is here. Because we don't have that, it is a run-on. Number 4, don't move the chairs, is a sentence. It's a sentence because it's what's called the imperative voice, and the imperative voice is used to give commands, and the implied subject in the imperative voice is you. You don't move the chairs. Because it's being used to give a command, we don't need the you, we simply have the implied subject, and it stands as a sentence. Number 5, everyone likes to listen to good music that lightens the mood. Even though we have a number of phrases here, this is a sentence. We have our subject, everyone. We have our verb, likes. The rest of it has a number of modifiers to it, but at its most basic, we do have a single independent clause there. Number 6, taking off my hat and placing it in its typical spot next to the fire. This is a fragment. We don't have a subject here. We have my, which would imply some manner of first-person subject, but there's no subject in the sentence as it's written. Number 7, don't sit on my couch, it's a family heirloom. This is a run-on. We have two independent clauses, don't sit on my couch, and it's a family heirloom. In don't sit on my couch, you have the imperative voice with the implied you. Again, what we've got is a fused sentence because we are missing our comma and our coordinating conjunction there in the middle between the two independent clauses. Number 8 is a sentence. It is, in fact, one of the shortest sentences we can have. We have our subject, Mike. We have our verb, plays. It expresses a complete thought. It is an independent clause, therefore it's a simple sentence. Number 9, not in a million years, is a fragment. Again, this is the type of fragment that would probably hold up, or that at least would be acceptable to us in speech, but in writing, no, it's a fragment. We are missing both a subject and a verb here. Number 10, if you need help in passing your driver's test, I would recommend that you check out the website for a reputable driving school. Is a sentence. This is a complex sentence beginning with our subordinate clause. We've got our subordinating conjunction right here in if, and then we've got our independent clause following it. This is a complex sentence. Even though we have a number of modifiers going on, there's nothing going on here that would prevent this from being a viable sentence for us. As always, if you have any questions, please make time to come see me.